in this year's valedictorian, Micah Max Sorner. Max has truly earned the privilege of speaking today. Through years of hard work, dedication, and heart, he has risen to become this year's valedictorian here at Rolling Hills Preparatory School. And we couldn't be more proud of him. If you had to sum Max up in just a few words, you may say he is studious, humble, and grounded, with just the right amount of humor to keep things interesting for his friends, teammates, and of course his teachers. But what has stood out the most to me over the years is his drive and his genuine belief that there is always room to grow. That kind of mindset is rare, and it speaks volumes about the young man he has become. Max is someone with many passions and interests, but for those who know him well, it comes as no surprise that his greatest passion is continuing his family's proud tradition of service and commitment to his country. Please welcome Micah Max Sorner.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to the graduating class of 2026. I'm absolutely honored and humbled to be standing up here today. And on behalf of everyone, I'd like to thank family, friends, coaches, teachers, and mentors who have helped us reach this point in our lives. You are the very reason why today is possible, and here we are. When asked, what's the biggest mistake you make in life? The Buddha replied, the biggest mistake is you think you have time. Time is free, but time is priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. I think this idea truly sums up high school perfectly. Along this 4-year journey, it's easy to think we have a lot more time than we do. It's easy to imagine that there will always be another season, another opportunity, one more person to become the person we really want to be. It's easy, comfortable even, to drift like a piece of wood, floating aimlessly in the ocean. Moving wherever the current takes you, convincing yourself that one day you'll try harder. Try harder to be more intentional. But then you realize just how quickly the current seems to move. And now here we are, graduating high school. In a matter of months, my life and the life of every senior here will turn completely upside down. New place, new people, new challenges. For the first time, we'll truly be on our own, building something new with the experiences that we've gained in our short time here. Over the past couple months, I've thought about time more than I ever have. 2 months ago in April, my dad, the greatest leader and role model I'll ever know, passed away. Saying that the day since have been the greatest challenge of my life is quite simply an understatement. And I'm not sharing this with all of you today because I want this speech to be about grief. I'm sharing this because this loss has forced me to truly understand how fragile time really is and how dangerous it can be when we act like we have unlimited amounts of it. I am constantly reminded of all the times adults have told me just how quickly life moves and how easy my young self brushes it off. That's cliche. But now I understand. Time, life, will move forward whether we feel ready or not. It will not stop for any reason. And somehow, this truth is both scary and beautiful at the same time. And I'm not perfect. And I'm not standing up here pretending I'm the 18-year-old who has it all figured out, which I'm sure a lot of you parents know is usually the age when people become strangely confident that they do. But if there's one thing that I can leave our graduating class with, it's this. Do not wait. Don't just go through the motions thinking you have unlimited time, because you don't. Try to find something you care about, something that excites you. Set a goal, even if it's not perfect, and break it down into simple and attainable steps so you don't get overwhelmed and give up. Be consistent, be organized, be intentional. If you stay disciplined, you will build momentum, and eventually you will find your path. One of the lessons my dad always reminded me of was Theodore Roosevelt's message in The Man in the Arena. It goes, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error or shortcoming, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, and who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." And I think that that's one of the greatest lessons my dad ever gave to me. And I wanted to share his lesson with all of you today. He wanted us to be the person willing to fail and to struggle in pursuit of something truly meaningful to ourselves. Because at some inevitable point, each and every one of us graduates will become that person stepping into the arena. We will struggle, we will face criticism, and some of us will face moments where we genuinely question our very own decisions. But in these moments, we must be reminded that just because we are tired, it does not mean it's time to give up. In my dad's very own words, acknowledge the storm, accept the storm, and lean into the storm. Honor the storm with your resiliency, and most importantly, have faith in your resiliency. Blue skies await if you simply never, ever give up. I promise. And this is why we must be intentional about everything we do. I will end with this. While ambition, victory, and achievements matter, nothing is more important than never losing sight of those around you. At the end of the day, we are not defined by what we have achieved in our lives, but by the relationships and connections we build, the love we give, and the light we shed on others. We are the people we love. While time is limited, each and every one of us can spare some time to tell people how much we appreciate them. Call your family. Call your friends. Tell them that you love them. For that, it is never too late. For the class of 2026, congratulations. And in the spirit of Mr. Holloway, carpe that diem. Thank you very much.